Yes, and you're not the first girl to come here claiming to know him. Let me guess, you're pregnant? Amara nodded, tears streaming down her face. Young girl, the woman said, her voice softening, go back to your parents. This man will only ruin your life. Amara returned to school in shame. She avoided everyone, even Adora. Her growing belly became harder to hide, and rumors spread. Welcome to African Dreamtime Tales. We are about to dive into the heart-touching story of Amara. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. In the small but bustling city of Owerri, Amara, a bright and hard-working girl from a humble family, was celebrating her scholarship to Queen's High School. This prestigious boarding school was known for its high academic standards and the children of wealthy elites who attended. Amara's father, Mr. Ease, a local carpenter, and her mother, Mama Nkechi, a small-scale trader, were overjoyed. Amara, this is your chance to make something of yourself, Mama Nkechi said, handing her a small pot of egusi soup to take to school. Remember, focus on your studies and avoid bad company. Some of these rich children have no home training. Amara nodded confidently. She promised to make her parents proud. On her first day at Queen's High, Amara was in awe. The school had tall buildings, large football fields, and even a modern salon for the students. However, it didn't take long for Amara to realize she was different. Her clothes were simple, and her provisions were just enough to get by. Amara's roommate, Adara, was also from a modest background. The two girls quickly became friends. They made their hair for each other in their dormitory, cooked simple meals with their provisions, and studied together at night. But not everyone was like Amara and Adara. There were girls like Chiamaka, Onyinye, and Ifunanya, popularly called the Glamour Queens. These girls always had the latest phones, fancy clothes, and imported snacks. They often returned to school in flashy cars driven by their parents or chauffeurs. The Glamour Queens loved attention, and they got it. They ruled the school like queens, and other students either admired or feared them. One Saturday morning, Amara and Adara were walking to the school canteen when they accidentally bumped into Chiamaka, spilling some of her drink. Look at this one, Chiamaka snapped, her voice dripping with disdain. Can't you see where you're going? I'm so sorry, Amara said quickly, bending down to pick up the empty bottle. Sorry won't buy me another drink, Chiamaka replied, crossing her arms. Onyinye laughed. This one probably can't afford a bottle of Fanta. Amara and Adaora walked away, their cheeks burning with embarrassment. From that day, Amara became the target of the Glamour Queen's jokes. One day, as Amara sat under a tree reading her notes, Ifunanya approached her. Amara, she said, her voice unusually sweet. Why are you always reading? Don't you know life is about balance? Amara looked up confused. Balance? Yes, books are important, but you also need to enjoy life. Chiamaka, Onyinye, and I are going out this weekend. There's a party in town, and we think you should join us. Amara hesitated, but leaving school is against the rules. Ifunanya rolled her eyes. Rules? Please, our parents are influential. Nobody can punish us. You're smart, Amara. Don't you want to experience the finer things in life? Amara thought about it. She had always admired the Glamour Queens from afar. Their confidence, their lifestyle. It all seemed so exciting. Finally, she nodded. Okay, I'll come. That Saturday night, Amara sneaked out with the Glamour Queens. They climbed the back fence of the school and waited by the roadside. Soon, a sleek black car pulled up. Finally, Onyinye exclaimed as the door opened. Inside was a young man with a charming smile. Ladies, welcome, he said, gesturing for them to enter. The car took them to a luxurious house in the heart of Owerri. The house was like something out of a movie, with sparkling lights, a swimming pool, and music playing softly in the background. Amara could hardly believe her eyes. This was a world she had only seen on TV. Relax, Amara, Chiamaka said, handing her a glass of juice. This is your new life. That night, Amara met Femi, a tall, handsome man who showered her with compliments. You're too beautiful to be shy, he said, giving her a new smartphone. Keep in touch, okay? Amara returned to school feeling special. For the first time, she felt like she belonged. Amara's nights out became frequent. Every Saturday, she sneaked out with the Glamour queens. Femi continued to spoil her with gifts, clothes, money, and even a gold necklace. However, things started to change. Amara spent less time studying and more time texting Femi or planning her next outing. Adora tried to warn her. Amara, you're changing, she said one evening. These girls are not your friends. They're using you. Amara waved her off. You don't understand. This is my chance to live a better life. You should join us. Adara shook her head. I'd rather struggle than risk everything for fake friends. One day, Amara realized her period was late. Panicking, she confided in Ifunanya. Don't worry, Ifunanya said. We've all been there. There are pills you can take. Amara took the pills, and the problem seemed to go away. But a few weeks later, she missed her period again. Just take more pills, Onyinye said casually. Amara did, but this time the pills didn't work. Her belly began to grow, and the other girls started avoiding her. Even Femi stopped answering her calls. Desperate, Amara decided to confront him. One evening, Amara went to the address Femi had given her. She knocked on the door, and a woman opened it. Good evening, Amara said nervously. I'm looking for Femi. The woman laughed bitterly. Femi, my husband? What do you want with him? Amara's heart sank. Your husband? Yes. And you're not the first girl to come here claiming to know him. Let me guess. You're pregnant? Amara nodded, tears streaming down her face. Young girl, the woman said, her voice softening, go back to your parents. This man will only ruin your life. Amara returned to school in shame. She avoided everyone, even Adara. Her growing belly became harder to hide, and rumors spread. One night, she begged Chiamaka to help her find someone to terminate the pregnancy. This is dangerous, Chiamaka warned, but if you insist, I'll take you to someone. They visited a quack doctor who performed the procedure. The pain was unbearable, but Amara thought it was over. However, as they returned to school, Amara collapsed. She was bleeding heavily. Amara lay on the ground outside the hostel, her uniform soaked with blood. Her cries were faint and her vision blurred. Chiamaka, panicking, tried to shake her awake. Amara, wake up. Don't do this to me, she whispered urgently. A few students heard the commotion and rushed over. Soon, the matron was called and Amara was hurried to the school clinic. The nurse took one look at her and shook her head. This is beyond us. We need to get her to the general hospital immediately. In the village, Mama Nkechi was preparing dinner when her phone rang. It was the school principal. Mrs. East, your daughter Amara is in critical condition. Please come to the General Hospital in Owerri immediately. Mama Nkechi dropped the pot of soup, her heart racing. She called her husband, and together they made the journey to the hospital. When they arrived, they found Amara unconscious, surrounded by doctors and nurses. "What happened to my child?" Mama Nkechi cried. The doctor pulled them aside. "Your daughter has lost a lot of blood due to complications from an unsafe abortion. We're doing everything we can, but we need you to prepare for the worst." Mama Nkechi fell to her knees, wailing. Mr. Eze stood frozen, unable to speak. For hours, the doctors worked tirelessly to save Amara. Blood transfusions, emergency surgeries, and prayers filled the night. By dawn, the doctor emerged from the operating room. "She's stable for now, but it's a miracle she survived. However, the abortion has caused significant damage. She may never be able to have children." Mama Nkechi nodded through her tears. "Thank you, doctor. Please, just let her live." Amara woke up 2 days later. The first thing she saw was her mother's tear-streaked face. "Mama," she whispered weakly. "My daughter," Mama Nkechi said, holding her hand tightly. "You almost left me. Why didn't you come to me when you were in trouble?" Amara burst into tears. "I was ashamed, Mama. I didn't want to disappoint you." "My child," Mama Nkechi said softly, "it's better to face your family than to lose your life. Nothing you do can ever make us stop loving you." Amara wept uncontrollably. She thought about all the warnings her mother had given her, all the advice she had ignored. After a week in the hospital, Amara was discharged, but the news of her ordeal had spread across the school. The principal summoned Amara and her parents to her office. "Amara has broken school rules and tarnished the school's reputation," the principal said sternly. "She will be expelled." Mama Nkechi knelt before the principal. "Please, Ma, she has learned her lesson. Don't let this one mistake destroy her future." The principal sighed. "Out of respect for your family's honesty, I will allow her to finish the term, but she cannot return after that." Amara returned home to the village. The shame was overwhelming, and for weeks she refused to leave the house. But Mama Nkechi refused to let her daughter give up. "You made a mistake, but your life isn't over," she said one morning, placing a stack of textbooks in front of Amara. "You will study from home and prepare for your exams." It wasn't easy, but Amara began to rebuild her life. She studied every day, determined to prove to herself and her family that she could rise above her past. Amara passed her exams with flying colors and gained admission to a university in Enugu. She chose to study counseling psychology, inspired by her own experiences. At university, she started a club for young girls, sharing her story to warn them about the dangers of peer pressure and the importance of making wise choices. Her message was simple. It's okay to make mistakes, but it's better to avoid them. Always seek help when you need it, and never be ashamed to turn to your family. Years later, Amara returned to Owerri, not as the naive girl who once sought validation from the wrong crowd, but as a confident woman with a purpose. She opened a counseling center for young girls, offering them a safe space to talk and learn about making good decisions. Her parents couldn't have been prouder. "You've turned your pain into purpose," Mama Nkechi said with a smile. Amara nodded. "I had to. If I can save just one girl from going through what I did, then it's all worth it." Amara's story reminds us that mistakes do not define us. What we do after those mistakes matters most. With love, support, and determination, anyone can rewrite their story. And so, Amara's journey, though filled with pain and regret, became a beacon of hope for others. If you enjoyed this story and learned one or two things from it, please do well to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, African Dreamtime Tales, for more educative, interesting, and engaging stories like this. Thanks.